I feel like you should be like putting that up and be like, hands up. But you know what? It's savings that she's actually going to be shooting at each and every one of you. This is our amazing Wearing Pro Pistol Vac vacuum sealing system. This is the professional grade vacuum sealer that you can own in your home for the lowest price we've ever offered it. I mean, basically, this little guy is savings in your hand. It's preserving all the money you spend on produce, on frozen meats, stale no more, throwing out no more. This is the way the pros do it, and now you can own the technology in your own home. We have it available at a great $20 price break savings, making it officially the lowest price ever. And here's the great thing. Not only do we load you up with the sealer bags, you're going to get 2 dozen in 2 different sizes, but they're reusable.
Over and over and over.
They're dishwasher safe. They're microwave safe. They're BPA free. They can go boiled into a pot. You can truly use them time and time again. Wash them and reuse them time and time again. So it's not like you're signing up for a vacuum system and then a huge investment in cost down the line. Wearing Pro puts it together in a package that you can use everything you get for years and years to come.
That's such a great point. Reusable bags. This is the highest quality in the industry. Brett mentioned it. So this is industry grade. So that's what Wearing Pro is. This is the professional. What Wearing Pro does is they take industry grade appliances and they bring them into the consumer home. So when I say industry, you're like, well, what does that mean? This is what cruise ships use. This is what hotels and restaurant chains use. This is what big box stores who have to use and have to save money and make a living buying in bulk use to store food. Okay, the average American family, this is a study done by the government about 2-3 years ago, throws in the garbage $2,800 worth of food. The average family, maybe you're a little above that, maybe you're a little below that. My family's probably right about, was at least probably right about there. $2,800 in food. What could you do with $2,800? I could go on a pretty darn nice vacation. That's what I'd like to do with that money. Every time you throw away a bag of lettuce, every time you throw away an apple, every time you throw away a pint of strawberries, you're cringing. You will not have to do it anymore. Now, when I talk about industrial grade, this is what I'm talking about. I just want to showcase the power. It will crush the aluminum can right inside here. So this is serious business. But what's most important is that, first of all, that slim design is going to fit right in your utensil drawer, but you control the amount of air evacuated. Okay, I've seen the systems, and you maybe have one, and you're rolling your eyes at the moment because you're like, another one of these? No, I've seen the ones, they're the big rollers, they're this big, they take up a half a cabinet, you have no control over how much air is evacuated, and you have to keep buying the sheets of plastic. Well, and if you, that's not what we're selling.
No, and if you wonder, well, why does it matter about the amount of oxygen I evacuate? Well, you can really suck out every last drop when you're talking about coffee beans, when you're talking about soft, perfectly shaped sweet berries, you're not going to want to crush the amount of air and space that's in there. So you can preserve both, and you can customize it every single time. And you know what I love personally, Kelly? When we have an item that we say this is about saving you money, and we put it on sale, that means you're hitting a home run right out of the gate. This is the lowest price we've ever offered to take home this incredible professional quality technology. And if we can save you half of what the average American family throws away a year, that would be $1,400.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of cheddar.
So when I'm talking about controlling the evacuating the air, look what you can do. So you don't want to crush the berries, but I can start and stop. That's why we call it the pistol vac. I have control over the mechanism which evacuates air. So now I can store my berries. Brett, did you know that most of those other vacuum sealing systems forbid you from sealing berries? In the instructions, it actually says don't seal berries because you don't want to crush your berries. So unless you're making wine or pie filling, you don't want to crush your berries, right? You want to have fresh berries. Now I can control the amount of air I evacuate out of my blueberries. Imagine now taking that and freezing it and having blueberries out of season, or having strawberries, fresh strawberries out of season. These are all BPA free. They go in the refrigerator, the freezer, the dishwasher, the microwave. You can sous vide in these, which means they can go into boiling water. That is how powerful these are. But most importantly, they're reusable over and over again, which means you don't have to spend money on additional bag systems. Another really great point, this is on its own charger. No batteries. You don't have to keep buying AA's. I've seen the vacuum sealers out there where they're filled with 8 AA's, and you're like, I can't afford to keep, investing in batteries. Absolutely not. This comes with the charger. All you do is plug it in in, you will have this for the rest of your life. If anybody in your family is a hunter or a fisherman, this is a requirement. So anybody that needs to seal up portions of fish or quail or venison, go ahead and get this for them as a gift. They will thank you over and over again, because now they can put their meat right here, throw it in the freezer, and have it perfectly proportioned.
And I think if you look at our table of supplies and demonstrations here, you can all identify with one of them. For me,
the herbs.
For my home, it's this. I can't tell you how many bags of these I've thrown away, and they are not cheap. And you buy it because you want 1 or 2 sprigs for a sauce that you're making, but they don't sell you 1 or 2 sprigs. I mean, look at parsley and cilantro. They will only offer it to you in a supply for a small army. I don't have a small army in my home, although my son's trying to eat as much as a small army. But still, he's not going through parsley and cilantro. But it's the only way to buy it. If you're throwing this away over the course of a year alone, this system will pay for the savings that I'm throwing away in basil and all those herbs, parsley and cilantro.
It's the same here. Look at the ooey gooey mess that our salad has created. Have you ever opened a bag of salad and, you know, eaten a science experiment, or almost eaten a science experiment? Because it gets gross, it gets soupy. Now what I want you to do is take it home, pour it in here. When you need to go in for a couple of, you know, a couple of side salads, grab a handful, and then all you do, this comes included. So I'm not asking you to sit here, you know, with your fingers and try and press on this to seal it. No, this seals it for you. You just go across. Then you just take this little lip here, and that's just a suction cup. You take it and you press it to the red button, and then you can control the amount of air you evacuate out of your salad leaves. And now you're going to be able to store these in the absence of oxygen. So when we remove oxygen from the bag, we are removing the environment which biodegrades our food. So we know that oxygen is the enemy of food, or air is the enemy of food, right? Because it biodegrades. It turns it into a soupy mess. Now you're removing it. For me personally, from my personal experience, I like to say that because you're like, well, I don't really care what the tests say. What does it do for you? This will extend my salad by several weeks. I mean, I've gone in for a sprig of lettuce and I'm like, that is still fresh, because I have removed the oxygen from it. As Brett mentioned, would you rather store your basil or your cilantro here or here? Again, we go in for 1 or 2 sprigs. Look what you get. Here's another really important one. Coffee. Got any coffee snobs in your house? My husband and I live with a coffee snob. There's a reason that the factory gives you coffee sealed like this in a brick without oxygen. The reason is coffee tastes better fresh, of course. So now you can restore the factory seal. I want you to take your coffee. This is the smaller size bag that it comes in. It fits the whole brick. And then I want you to reseal the factory seal every single time you go in for coffee. It might take you an extra 10 seconds in the morning, but here's what it just saved you. $5, $6, $7, $8, you haven't had to throw away stale coffee. Now your coffee beans are fresh every single time you go in for them. So that's why people, read the reviews. That's why people rave about this system. It's not big, it's not clunky. We're not asking you to buy batteries. We're not even asking you to buy any additional bags. These bags are reusable. Store your coffee in them when your coffee's gone. Throw it in the dishwasher. Next go round, store a piece of fish inside, your berries inside, because it's dishwasher safe.
I mean, to me, that was where I was really convinced. Dishwasher safe. You don't have to write on the bag, only use for salmon, only use for berries. Wash them and reuse them, wash them and reuse them, wash them and reuse them. This may be the only money you ever have to spend. There's no batteries. There's no additional costs involved. So why not save yourself money when the product itself will save you money and allow you to not eat stale foods anymore, but when you're also saving money on the product itself. I mean, as a host, as a salesperson, to be able to say, here's a product that saves you money, and today I get to save you the most amount of money we've ever saved you just in buying the product itself. There's never been a better offer that we've had on our Pro system. This is the day to do it. It is lowest price ever. It's on Flex Pay, so that seriously, the Flex, you may save that in your first month alone. And today is the day to do it. We have a limited supply of these. They're only scheduled for a couple of shows, because when we have a money saver that's a customer pick at a higher price, we can't keep it in stock. And everybody is looking at their receipts, looking at their bills from the holidays. They're looking at what's still in the back of the fridge and the freezer from the holidays, and you're looking at it going, ugh.
Yeah.
Maybe you wouldn't be if it had been sealed properly. You could go, ooh, I think I'll have some of that delicious treats I had.
It's so true. My husband and I,
thanks
to my cookies. Thanks to my dad, we do a budget every month. He was like instilled in us, you know, this budgeting thing. And every year we look at the end line item, and food is the most expensive part of our lives, you know, minus mortgage and stuff like that. But food is the most expensive part of our lives. And every year we go, how can we save on food? How can we save on food? Well, the prices of food are rising. How do you save? We're still eating food. That's the problem. We require food. So here's how we decided we can save on food. We do not throw it away. Our brown sugar, our flour, our baked goods. Ever had the little bugs in there and you throw it away? And that's the worst feeling because you're like, man, that was, you know, $8, $9, $10. Now when you seal it properly, instead of like this is our Chef Eric. I'm throwing him under the bus. That's how our Chef Eric was storing his brown sugar. Not a good way to store it. Guess what? Bugs get in there, moisture gets in there. I want you to store it in here. Go in for a scoop, reseal it. It's the same with your flour. Anytime you can save money in terms of buying things in the season and freeze them, corn right off the cob. Imagine having it in February. You know, fresh summer corn off the cob. Cranberries in the middle of the summer, you know, because you've frozen them. So you're taking the fruits out of season that you've bought on sale, you're freezing them, and you're having them in the off season.
Well, and not to mention, I think so many of you, I had the experience myself. I spent the money to join a big box place so I could buy in bulk.
Sure.
I went once or twice, and then when I threw away half of what I bought, I went, well, so much for savings, I'm not going back. I can't get my money back for my membership, but I'm not going back anymore. When you have a system like this, buying in bulk actually turns into real life savings. When your bread doesn't have to go stale, when your fruits and vegetables don't have to go sour. This is the way to get the very best out there. It's what cruise ships are using and hotels are using and airports are using. This is the true professional machine. And today, you're paying like an entry-level off-brand price. You're not buying one that requires batteries. You're not buying one that you have to rebuy sealing systems or sealing bags. You're spending one lowest price ever price, and you are cutting off the financial bleeding and the wasting.
It's so true. And that's a great point about the big box stores, Brett. I did the exact same thing. And here's the thing. We think, well, we'll go to the big box store and we can only buy paper, let's say, in bulk, because we eliminate any kind of fresh goods that we think we can't buy in bulk because we have no way to store them. Right now, I'm just showcasing that power as I'm talking, but that's the power it's able to crush the can there. But when we go into that big box store, now we can buy fresh goods, you know, in bulk because we can freeze them. So if you have any extra space in your freezer, that's wasting money right there. I want you to take up all the space in your freezer with fresh produce that you find on sale, with chicken breasts that you get BOGO. This is my favorite example of the big box buying. So here it says on sale, buy one, get one free. We found a really great deal on this. This was $21.20, but I got a whole second tray. So I essentially saved a $20 bill. That's crazy. But
saved
you're like,
more than the flex pay.
I saved more than, yeah, exactly. Very good. Okay, instead, normally I'd be worried, well, I'm not going to buy it because it might turn into this mess. You ever had this? You've been really disappointed in a freezer burn piece of chicken. Have you ever had that? Now I want you to do the BOGO, buy both trays, get them home, take them out of this madness, which is not, you know, designed to store. Put it into this beautiful system. Throw it in your freezer whenever you want. This could be months later. You go in for it. It's not freezer burned because we have, you know, removed most of the air from the bag. Now it is frozen solid and it stays good for you. Well, that's why we love this system.
If this is the way that the manufacturers, the ones that are actually creating and growing and cultivating these foods, these vegetables, these fruits, these fresh meats, that's how they're transporting it to where you're buying it. And then what do? They take it out and they put it in some other packaging. Why? Because if you throw it away, you'll come back and buy more. It's just kind of what it is. This is the way you can stop that process. You can store it the way they store it. You can preserve it the way they preserve it. They're saving their money and reducing their waste. Why shouldn't you do it in your own home? And today, you get to do it for the best price ever. So why not? Enjoy FlexPay, get it home, try it out, try washing the bags, try using them on 2 different things and make sure that tastes don't cross, that nothing contaminates. You have a 30-day risk-free trial, but our Pro system at this price, it's definitely not going to last the weekend. And when you're looking at those budgets and you're reviewing all your receipts at tax season, think about how much we can reduce some of those costs over the course of the next year And then the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that.
It's so true, though. It's so true. You're not going to stop eating. You're always going to need to buy food. The way that you save money on food is to stop throwing it out. Here's another really cool way that I like to utilize these bags. Now, most people don't realize that when you marinate without the presence of oxygen, you can marinate like chicken breast or shrimp or fish or steak in a matter of minutes as opposed to hours. So let's say you've forgotten to marinate your chicken and you're like, oh, I'll call fast food. You don't want to do that. You don't have to do that. Guess what? When you remove the air out of a marinade, this will now marinate your chicken fully in a matter of minutes. Because what it does is it opens up those cell walls and it allows all of the juices to infiltrate your chicken breast or your shrimp or your whatever it is, your steak. So now you can see that I am going to marinate without the presence of most of the oxygen inside there, which means my chicken breast in about 10 to 20 minutes are good to go, as opposed to several hours. So maybe I've forgotten to marinate.
Okay, so for anybody that's just joining us, Kelly, tell us about the bags themselves, where they're safe to go and how we reuse them.
So that's why we love this system. All the bags are reusable. They're safe for the refrigerator, the microwave, the freezer. They're safe to sous vide in or boil in on the stovetop. They go right in your freezer. Most importantly, my favorite part about this system is they go in the dishwasher, which means this chicken breast that's raw here that I marinated my chicken in, when I'm done utilizing this bag, I throw it in my dishwasher, I get it back out, it's totally clean, and now maybe I want to use it for my bagels so that my bagels don't go moldy on my countertop.
And we are giving you 2 dozen.
Yep.
In 2 different sizes. So the 2 sizes you're going to get, I just want to make sure we've got the gallon and the quart. Now, if you need larger ones, if you love the concept, if you want 2-gallon bags, you can buy them from us. If you want to stock up on extras, we have the information at the bottom of the screen. But we're not asking you to buy bags to get started. We're not giving you 2 to get it home and try it out. Included in our lowest price ever is 2 dozen bags to reuse over and over and over again, with no batteries, with reusability on the bags that can go in the microwave and in the dishwasher and in the freezer. You could never spend another penny. If we could save you on average, what, $2,000 a year for $16 and change on FlexPay, why wouldn't you pick it up? It's a customer pick at the lowest price ever. That's it for Kelly today. She gets to go relax now. Thank you so much. All right, have a nice nap. Come back.